Growing up, I've always felt different because I look different. And because of the way I look, I received a lot of unnecessary attention that was at times burdensome and stressful. I didn't really like it. Thinking back on it now, I definitely could have reacted to things better, but I didn't have the ability to do so at the time. I would just be in the subway and sometimes kids or even just people would just look at me because I was the only foreigner. And sometimes people would come up to me and try to have a conversation with me in English. It wasn't like they were bad towards me, but even that was kind of stressful. Whether the people's attention were good or bad, just getting attention was stressful. Now, I've become numb to it all. In a weird way, I guess it kind of worked out because receiving attention, any kind of it, is the fate of a public figure. It was something I had to fully accept at some point. But if you think about it, everyone is different, not just me. I came to realize and truly understand this throughout my trainee period, and even after we debuted. There are 13 members in 17. That means there are 13 different personalities that live together. 13 guys together all the time. Can you imagine? I do sometimes feel that I have different tastes in music, movies, or even humor from my members. Even our fans are all different from each other, even if they're all carrots. Each person can react very differently to the same content we release. When I first debuted, I didn't feel like I had a real sense of identity. Part of it may have been my young age, but when I compare myself today to the young kid who debuted, my core strength is these deep roots that I have now developed. I don't think it was triggered by a specific moment or anything. It just came about naturally through the accumulation of experience and time. For example, when I first debuted, I honestly avoided looking at any comments online. I didn't want to be trapped within the boxes people put me in through their comments. Today, it's not a regular thing that I do, but every once in a while, I'll take a look at comments. Fear or anxiety that I feel when I read comments anymore, because I don't let them affect me, and I don't take anything to heart. I think I'm able to do that because I now set my own standards for myself, so I don't hold on to others' opinions anymore. I can define and determine who I am. Another thing that I've developed over time is balance. Like I shared in another episode, defining your values and your own beliefs is incredibly important. But one thing that can be hard to figure out while you're doing that is learning to live with balance. Because I have a very strong set of values and beliefs, there was a point in time when I tried to act and live only according to my own beliefs and values. Part of this may have been a natural reaction. I was trying to get away from becoming what everyone else wanted me to be. But this meant I was incredibly inflexible, which often led to direct conflicts with people around me. You'll go through all the ups and downs in order to find yourself and your identity. But the important thing is that at the end, you find the balance. The medium where everything starts to make sense. There was a time when I wondered what kind of person I would become. At that time, I asked my friend what they thought of me, and they said I was a simple yet diverse person. Others might say that these two words have polar opposite meanings, but personally, I think these words describe me perfectly. Simplicity explains my tendency to see people or situations realistically, just as they are. And on the other hand, diversity not only showcases my multicultural background, but also my job as an idol who constantly displays a new side of myself. Our song Trauma contains the questions and answers I have about identity that I've been pondering for a long time. I talk about how I dropped out of middle school. I just didn't feel like I was really fitting in with the other friends. I didn't really feel that connected with anyone. I wanted people to hear that song and enjoy it, because at the end of the day, the kind of music I want to pursue is not the kind that makes others feel depressed or have a hard time. Listen to my music to have fun. Like I said earlier, we are all different. So I think everyone's opinions should be respected as long as they don't offend others. But I know that when you meet someone who has very different opinions from you, it can be difficult to accept and understand. What's important here is respect. When I respect the other person and the other person respects me, I can acknowledge and accept the fact that we're different. If we can't respect one another, conversations can be meaningless. Rather than closing ourselves off just because we think others don't respect our opinions, why don't we try showing our respect first? For example, when talking to people who are older than we are, like our parents or teachers, how do you normally go about that conversation? You may have already closed yourself off first, thinking that they may not fully understand you. I have a very different personality from someone close to me, so there were times where I couldn't fully understand them during our conversations. We just didn't see eye to eye. But when I decided to really listen to them, and in return, that person would hear me out and better understand me too. That's how we showed our respect for each other. It all takes effort. Could you imagine how terrible it would be if everyone was the same? If everyone had the same thoughts and beliefs? This world is dynamic and fun because everyone has their own unique personality. While we find our own roles and place in this world, we will have to overcome our differences and struggles. But that's something we can and actually should celebrate. Just remember that everyone is different. But just because they're different from you, doesn't mean their thoughts aren't important. We can learn so much about this crazy thing called life from each other. So let's be respectful. Respect is everything. This is my mindset.